Welcome to As the Crow Flies Hiking. I have always wanted to use a hammock for backpacking. About 6 months ago or so, I reached out to Jason Flowers of Walhalla Hammocks and Outdoors and asked him a lot about backpacking with a hammock. He said, why don't you come out to one of our hammock hangs and I can let you look at different fabrics and maybe you can find a hammock that's right for you. So I went to South Carolina, I went to his hammock hang and learned as much as I could about hammocks over one weekend. Now that's just enough to get me dangerous in hammocks, but not really enough to be an expert. But after that, Jason made me a custom hammock from Walhalla Hammocks and Outdoors, and here it is. Now I would like to do a series of the purchases that I'm gonna make for backpacking with a hammock. And it starts with this, with the Walhalla hammock and some of its features. This will be a part of a 4 video series. First, the hammock. Second, the quilts, under quilt and top quilt. And then the tarp. And then lastly, the accessories and different options for accessories for a hammock. First, I would ask you, after you watch this video, to go watch the video that I did, and I'll put it up on the screen somewhere, about my meeting with Jason Flowers and his instructions and recommendations and his knowledge that he gave me about hammocks. And after you watch that video and this video, maybe you'll have an idea about what you may want for a hammock for backpacking, if that's what you want to be into. But the hammock that I got, it is an 11-foot hammock. Now the hammock that I got years ago was a 10-foot hammock. I could never find a way to lie flat in that hammock because it was too short. I'm about 6 feet, so 11-foot hammock is what Jason recommended to me, and I can say it made a world of difference. Now this hammock is made of a 1.7 mountain fabric. There are a lot of fabrics out on the market, and that's one of the learning curves that I really knew nothing about, and one of the things that kept me away from backpacking with a hammock because I didn't really know what fabric to get. I mean, there's Ripstop Nylon, there is Hyper D fabric, grid fabric, there's monolite fabric. There's all kinds of fabrics on the market that will make a difference on how you feel about your hammock, how you lie in your hammock to be more comfortable for you personally. For me, Jason asked me, do you lie on a firm mattress or do you lie on a soft mattress? And I said, I like a firm mattress. So the Mountain Fabric 1.7 was the perfect fabric for me because it's a little firmer. It doesn't have a lot of stretch in it. It's still very, very lightweight, but it gives a firmness to it that works perfect for me. If you wanted something more soft and more stretchy, then maybe the monolite fabric or even the Hyper D or something else. I was able to lie in a bunch of different hammocks out there and see the fabric that I wanted for myself. This has the Amsteel loops on either end. As you can see, that is the attachment to the bunched ends of the fabric that allows you to attach it to a tree with different hardware or different loops. I went ahead and got some cinch buckles on the side because I'm not really good with loops and knots, but I'm going to try to do better with that, and that's something that I wanted. Now this hammock is a ASIM hammock, not a symmetrical hammock. It cut down on weight on the fabric because I learned from that hammock hang that I like to lie in a right ASIM position, so my head is at the right and my feet are at the left. I also was able to cut down on weight with only putting a zipper on one side. This is a 3/4 length zipper, a number 3 zipper. I like the number 3 zippers because they seem to go back and forth very smoothly without any hangs or anything like that. The number 3 zippers also has little loops on them. That tells me that the blue side is the head side and the white side is the leg side. And so that's how I lie in the hammock. Jason puts his logo on the head side so you know that that's where you want your head to be. And also I have a bag for the hammock. This has a little hole on one end, and that tells you that that's going to be the side with your feet, or at least that's the way I have it put in. And the other side is going to be the side for my head. So when I pull it out, I know the way that the hammock is going to hang up in the tree. The ridge line for the hammock is the Zinget material, and it holds the ridge line. Also with Jason's hammock, he also has a hammock organizer that comes with it, and it gives you different pockets that you can use, and it hangs on the Zinget line. The mesh on this hammock that I decided to go with is the 0.7 monolite fabric. This is not a no-seam. It's a different type of fabric that looks a little different than the no-seam mesh. It really has a different transparency to it. I really like the feel of this a little better, and I think it's a little more durable than the no-seam, but this is something new that he likes to go with, and I really like that particular mesh to go on the hammock. The hammock is actually 72 inches wide. I chose that because it gives me a lot of room to find the sweet spot in the hammock. I right now have a quilt in there to keep the wind from blowing it, but essentially my feet come here, my head goes there, and with that bunch of fabric stretched out, that's 72 inches, gives me a lot of room to kind of move and find the position that I need for my hammock. Other ways that I was able to cut down on weight, aside from just having the one zipper on one side and the ASIM type of lay to it, so I go right to left with my feet. It also has just these little loops. There's no buckles here, but this can help to attach and have guidelines out and pull the hammock out wider if you need to. When you go on to Walhalla Hammock and Outdoors website, you're going to see a lot of different pricings and different hammocks and different fabrics that Jason has. But what I understand from Jason is his website is simply a place where you go to kind of look at stuff, but really he wants to have a conversation with somebody who wants to get into camping or outdoors in a hammock, whether it be to car camp or to backpack, because he really wants to fit a hammock to your particular needs, and that's what he did with me. And I'm so grateful that he did that, because I could have gone on one of the bigger websites and just purchased a hammock without knowing anything about it. But because he was able to talk to me about it and even invite me to come to one of his hammock hangs, I was able to see all the options. But this mountain fabric, the 1.7, was exactly what I wanted, kind of the perfect balance of weight and durability for me, that I think it will be perfect for my needs in backpacking with this hammock. If you have any questions, put them down below. If I don't know the answer, I'll reach out to Jason and maybe he can help me with it. I've always been a ground dweller, but I'm thinking about going to the trees now with this hammock. So stick around. Maybe the next video you see will be about the under-quilt. The third video will be about the tarp, and the fourth video will be about the accessories. Thank you guys for watching this episode of As a Crow Flies Hiking, and I'll see you on the next adventure.